This is a holy fuck, this is stressful production. Hello, lovely peoples. I am Michelle. This is my wheelchair Betty, and you are watching Rebelwheels NYC. And this is what's going on with my motherfucking wheelchair. It has been over 2 years that I have been trying to get a wheelchair that is safe, reliable, and properly supports my spine. And you might be saying, but Michelle, you're already sitting in a wheelchair, and isn't that sort of a wheelchair kind of to the side behind you? Yes, they are. This is Betty, my primary wheelchair, but she randomly stalls. Over here, I have Lilibel, who's a rental chair, but I can only use her 1 day in a row because she lacks custom spine support. So if I use Lilibel over there for like more than 1 day in a row, my spine is an absurd amount of pain. And really, thank God for like flat rates and unlimited time, because otherwise I would not be able to afford a rental wheelchair. By the way, which came out of my own savings. The system does not give you a rental wheelchair or a loaner wheelchair. If you are stuck in your apartment for 2 or more years, oh well, says the system, because they don't give a shit. So I have been trying for over 2 years to get a reliable and properly supportive wheelchair. And I started working with this wheelchair clinic, who at first was like really awesome, like they really care about the patient. But things that were once really awesome between me and them are a little less awesome. What happened was they gave me a new wheelchair who was 50 inches long and rear wheel drive, meaning which is really a very large wheelchair. And with rear wheel drive, it makes very wide turns. When I tried the wheelchair out in the elevators where I live, in my apartment building, I got stuck. Like, it was really fucking traumatic, and really, because, there's a certain amount of trust. And I will say to their credit that after it happened, the wheelchair clinic worked with me and said, all right, these are your options. This is the next step in how to fix this. But at the same time, they kind of dismissed my experience and said, well, the delivery person didn't have a problem. Since you're concerned about the size, we will oblige you and give you a shorter base wheelchair. The delivery person didn't use the wheelchair in motorized mode. They pushed it in manual mode. That being said, it really was very triggering and even more traumatic to go through that than have your experience dismissed. So, long story short, they're going to send me a 44-inch version of the rear-wheel drive wheelchair, which is shorter. One thing I did push for to make that when they deliver the new Ultra wheelchair, that the delivery person tests out the wheelchair in the elevator in my presence. And at first they were not down with that at all, but then after talking to the social worker, and then they finally kind of agreed to it. And he's not going to push it from behind in manual mode. He's going to physically sit in the wheelchair and test it out in motor, as I would use it. And so then, if it does fit in the elevator, and hopefully it does, I'm then going to test it out in my apartment. And then, if that passes that test, then I get to test it on the bus. Regardless of the delivery person's experience in the elevators, the wheelchair that they originally given me would not have fit on the goddamn bus. Because when I first got the 50-inch wheelchair, I said, this is going to fit on the bus, right? They're going, oh, of course it will. I said, oh, okay, silly question, sorry. It would not have fit on the bus. So the fact that they're saying, well, this will fit on the bus too, I don't have much confidence in them right now. I don't know if they understand why I don't have, there's a decrease in faith and confidence in what they're telling me. I don't think they really understand why. So what's happening is my mom has agreed to come in to town. So then she's going to come with me. Because that way, if it does get stuck, she can push me in manual mode and kind of get me off of the bus. So that's what's happening. They're going to deliver tomorrow. Please, wheelchair God, let it all just fucking work out. I'm wearing my Snuggie because it's a wearable blanket and I am in need of comfort. I'm kind of struggling right now. It's the night before the delivery and my cognitive impairment, which isn't always the case. It's kind of a very fluid thing, but it's kicked in. And, that means that I'm having a harder time processing things and I can't really process things in real time. But it's a problem when I have to advocate for myself. I can't keep up with everything sometimes, but yet I have to because I am the only person who's going to advocate for me at this point in time.
Okay, are you able to get out? Oops.
Well, you gotta.
Oh, here, I'll get the button for you.
He obliged and physically tested it out by sitting in the wheelchair and testing an elevator, and he got stuck. He was not able to leave the elevator. I had to hold the elevator button so he could turn around in time, and it took him a number of times because the door kept closing because he was not able to do it. So in other words, the wheelchair, even in the 44-inch version, does not fit in the fucking elevators. I really push for them to test the wheelchair out, and they made it like I'm overreacting and that I don't have enough faith in them, and I asked for too much, and finally they obliged, but it was reluctantly, and thank fucking God that I did, or I would have gotten stuck again in the goddamn motherfucking elevator. And this is why it stresses me out, and this is why I push so damn hard